8 laps, heat 1, AMSOIL, Pro Open, and they're green. Up the hill they go. We watch them as they go, and everybody pushing to the inside as they get to the top of the hill, and that is Corin Todd out in front.
He ran well back in Duluth, and he's just carrying it on back here. So Leighton Camp has her homework done.
They sure do. Robbie Malinowski working with that team. So there you see Corin Todd with the stud boy hole shot across through the AMSOIL finish line. Look at the rest of the field right behind him. As they come across, it's Tremblay sitting in the second place, and Brett Nastala was up in that ranking for a while, now has fallen back. So it's Corin Todd, Tremblay, Justin Broberg, Cody Cam in fourth, and Martin and Pauline.
You talked about the points, how critical they are here, Mike. We see you have a yellow out there. There's an extra 5 bonus points for the winner.
Up the hill he goes, makes the FXR turn. That driver coming off on the uphill will try to get some information on that driver, and I wonder if it wasn't Adam Renheim. We'll keep an eye on that, the big driver racing for Boss Racing. Meanwhile, out front, Corin Todd looks to be very, very solid here on a racetrack with a big up and a big down.
Looks extremely comfortable. He's not working at all, not even struggling nearly at all. But remember, we just said the groom was just out. It's very smooth.
You know, one of the things that you mentioned as we watched Corin Todd go through that first corner there is that you didn't really notice a berm there. When they go that corner right after the finish line, they're basically turning, squaring, going straight, squaring, and then going back uphill.
And that makes a big difference in where you accelerate, where you brake. And the big difference is going to be once we get into the final, you can get someone on the inside of you that'll push you out to the outside, and you're going to lose multiple positions by the time you get back on track.
Boy, Corin Todd looking very solid here as he comes across the AMSOIL finish line again. Tremblay right behind him now by about 2 seconds, trying to make up some ground. A battle here for 3 and 4. Look at this. That's a great race between Justin Broberg and Cody Cam. Cam on the number 53 Polaris. Broberg racing the 168 Artie Cap, their bar to bar.
Cam is working that inside line. It paid off. He just pulled ahead of him there. He's really got that thing rocking now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he just pulled it up on the rear rails and he was gone. So he tries now to make up some ground on Tim Tremblay. Tremblay better pay attention because Cody Cam is coming hard. There you see the race leader, still Corin Todd. Todd comes across as they count down the laps, still with about 1.7 second lead over the rest of the field. But this, a great battle developing right here. Cody Cam in third place, trying to run down the number 11 skidoo of Tim Tremblay.
Here we're seeing Corin Todd again. I think he's going to take that inside line he's taken the prior 2 times. It seems to work much better for him. See if he gains ground on Tremblay at the top.
Trying to find a line underneath. Tremblay doing a great job covering that line. Down the hill they go. The U.S. Air Force flyaway. Aim high. They are high up there. Trust me. Boy, look at Cody Cam, just reckless abandon, trying to catch Tim Tremblay.
He's giving it everything he's got. You two times there, he could have came down a little bit harder, came off sideways. He could have swapped it and came back off. He's going for it. He wants those points. He sees number 11 in his sights, and he wants to reel that in.
He tried to rail around the outside, push him a little bit, but then he kind of got caught up, going to fall off the pace just a bit. Cam still charging hard for that second position. Meanwhile, out in front, now with a 2.4 second lead, Corin Todd. And I'll tell you what, the 3 heats that Corin Todd has been in Pro Open this year, it looks like he's going to win all of them. That's 15 points in the points battle.
That's huge when you think about that coming to final time. You're going to have 10 extra points for a cushion here. And we said earlier, you've said that many times, Mike, you can drive a little bit too hard and it'll cost you some time in some positions. Cody Cam with lap ago was right behind Tim Tremblay. Now he's back a bit.
2 laps to go as they go on the uphill one more time. Now it looks like Tremblay may have put a little distance between he and Cody Cam. It was 1.2 seconds last time around. Top side of the race course, FXR corner, squared. Here comes your race leader down the U.S. Air Force flyaway across the AMSOIL finish line one more time. 1 lap left to go. Corin Todd just running away with this qualifier. Now 3 seconds ahead of Tim Tremblay.
Look at how flat and how nice the ride is on that snowmobile. Todd has got such a great snowmobile to ride thanks to Leighton. Watch him here. He's not struggling. He's not working it hard. Just nice and smooth, which is exactly what turns in fast lap time.
Top part of the racetrack. He'll go through that FXR corner, squared away, and he's got about a quarter lap left to go. Just come down the U.S. Air Force flyaway. A couple of small bumps at the bottom part of the racetrack. Double checkered flags are out. Iceman welcomes him. Corin Todd taking the win in round 1, heat 1 of Pro Open qualifying. Tim Tremblay comes across in second. Kurt Narsa and Tucker Hibbert. Clean they go up the hill. Who's going to push hard and got all the power to get to the top of the hill? It looks like it's going to be Trevor Leighton, the Leighton sleds, both with the huge power shot and hole shot up to the top of that hill.
Look what we just saw the last heat. We saw his teammate pull out in front, run away with it, take the win. Now the teammates come back again. How was their clutching setup?
I'll tell you what, that is great racing. And it's got to be huge for Leighton Motorsports to know that they've got a good setup. But charging hard, the 54, Peter Narsa, another Polaris driver out of Henches Racing, right behind him. So it's Leighton, Narsa, Lincoln Lemieux, Hibbert now sitting in 4th place, and Crapo, Springer, Logan Christian, Andrew Carlson.
Leighton's opening up the gap here. Look at the top. We go up into 1.
Tucker making a move. You've seen Lincoln Lemieux just going through your picture shot. He's still ahead, but look at Hibbert charging hard on the inside. He frustrated after Duluth. He made it known to everyone. Said he's had 2 good weeks of practice charging hard here.
He really has, but there's a lot to say about that. When you're thinking about Tucker here in the mindset, he knows 5 bonus points is huge. When you get into a points championship, he can't sit back and hang on. Believe me, he's pushing as hard as he can.
He's trying to run down Peter Narsa and Lincoln Lemieux as the rest of the field works their way through the race. Your leader, Trevor Leighton, on that number 3 Polaris. Leighton, as we indicated, out of Star, Idaho, racing for Fly, Skins, Polaris, Walker Evans Shocks, and AMSOIL. And here comes T-Train. T-Train sees Lincoln Lemieux. Lemieux sitting in 3rd. T-Train trying to work and inside, then goes outside, now back inside as they go down into that flat corner.
See, right now, Lemieux just blocked that line. Hibbert has no choice. He's going to have to regroup and take one more charge at him on this uphill.
That's a big part of racing, too, making sure that you're not only offensive, you got to play a little defensive, too. There it is. That is Lemieux on the inside. Hibbert charging on the outside. Bar to bar into the FXR corner. Tucker's going to try to come down underneath. Maybe just a tad bit of contact, but good clean racing, and it's still Lemieux out front.
That's been Tucker's best place to pass so far. We saw back up in turn 1 and turn 2. He seems to reel him in on that uphill. He gains virtually no ground on the downhill as a par 3 laps.
Cross flags are out. 4 laps left to go as Lemieux now goes down on the inside. Hibbert tries the outside. It's still Leighton out in front. Peter Narsa in 2nd. Lemieux, Hibbert trying to work his way into 3rd position. Then it's Crapo, Logan Christian, Ryan Springer, and Andrew Carlson. Boy, Tucker trying hard.
He is.
He did. He got around him. He got around him on the uphill. He now sitting in 3rd place. Boy, he lands hard there.
That's his fastest part of the track. We saw that for Tucker on that uphill. That tells you how good their clutching is, how good their setup is. His fastest part so far on the track, each and every lap, has been the uphill.
And Narsa now cutting into the lead that Trevor Leighton had. That lead has shrunk now to just a tad under 4 seconds. There you see the number 3 Polaris. That's your leader, Trevor Leighton. Then it's Narsa right behind. And, you know, when Tucker sees a battle, he likes to join right in.
He absolutely would love to see those two have at it and go right around him if they get hooked up.
Boy, he was going to go right between them there for a second. He goes to the outside. He may get around Narsa. That's going to be a drag race down the U.S. Air Force flyaway.
Here comes Tucker right on the outside. Now, if you watch right now, you know, Leighton knows he's back there. He knows they're both back there. Here is what's going to be a game of cat and mouse.
Over the AMSOIL finish line. Leighton still out in front. Now, Hibbert has been able, well, it depends upon who comes out of this line better. But if you look at it right now, Tucker is in 2nd place. So now Layton's got his hands full. He's got the number 68 all behind him. Look at Tucker pull up the handlebars just to try to get that sled to dig on the uphill.
Remember, his fastest time every time he's bending uphill, his fastest point in the track, and Tucker just demonstrated it again. He's much faster.
He is back, no doubt. He was really frustrated, as we said after the race in Duluth, that he didn't do better in qualifying or in the final. He ended up placing third. Now he's out front. So as the white flag comes out, 1 lap left to go, your leader right now, the 10-time Pro Open champion out of Pelican Rapids, Minnesota, that's the number 68 of Tucker Hibbert.
Very impressive how fast he is on that uphill. That's where he's made all of his time for speaking purposes. On everybody else, every time on that uphill, he just doesn't see, whatever that setup is he's got going up the hill, it's not nearly as well coming down the hill.
You know, you look at the last lap, he ran a second and a half faster than what Trevor Layton did. Tucker's got this one all wound up. Down the U.S. Air Force Flyway, the AMSOIL finish line is all he has to cross. Tucker Hibbert takes the win. Tell me if he's not fired up, huh? We're going back into Pro Light Racing. This is Heat 1 of Round 2. R.J. Roy, Jensen, Mason, Berglund's out there, Mullen, Patnode, Kern, and Jake Ango. And who's out front early? Oh, boy. Hold on, buddy. Angove, your race leader, got to the top part of the racetrack, threw it sideways, almost unloaded, and is able to hold on.
It's getting extremely windy. You can see it out here. And they're coming down here. If they catch big air, it's going to start to blow them over. It's going to be tough to be side by side and not have contact.
Back through that bottom corner, the Country Cat corner. You know, and we've seen this today, Paul, that, you know, we'll have wind squalls that'll come through here, and then all of a sudden it'll be dead calm. So, you know, we're playing with the elements. We know that. I know that our race officials are watching closely. Make sure that the safety of these racers is paramount and the #1 concern. Still up front, Ango, your race leader. Still battling, it's Alex Berglund and R.J. Roy. Those are the 2 drivers behind him. Mason's in 4th, Dylan Jensen in 5th. Boy, look at those signs. A little while ago, they were standing straight up. Now they're bent almost all the way over.
Doesn't seem to be impacting Ango whatsoever. He is really rock solid. Check this out. Watch here. Through 3, squares up, going into 4. Let's see, I'm curious how he goes in the same line that Tucker had. He really moving on that inside line. Tucker pulled so hard on that uphill. I wonder if everybody took notes, or they're just saying, I'll try my own way.
Well, down he goes. He's watching him as he's keeping a very low profile on that sled. He's bending over, not riding as upright as we typically see him. And, you know, I'm sure he's trying to, you know, be as compact as he can, not try to catch any air. Ango comes down the U.S. Air Force Flyway. You see the bales blowing across the racetrack, as that is getting to be very gnarly and sketchy on the top part up there. Across the U.S. Air Force, or rather the AMSOIL finish line, as we count down laps. They're halfway, 3 laps left to go in this 6-lap qualifier.
You watch how they're bent over. They were looking at Jake Ango. Now watch how he's crouched down. Imagine people say, well, how windy is it? Stick your hand out the window going 50 miles an hour and tell me what your hand feels. Now imagine what the body feels. Believe me, he can feel that wind. That's why he's tucked in.
No doubt. FXR corner. We'll watch him as he comes across that little flyer before the U.S. Air Force Flyaway. Trying to keep the sled compact on the ground. You know, no big air here. Just, you know, he knows he's out in front. He's got about a 1.3-second lead with 2 laps left to go. So Ango picking up where he left off in Duluth, winning his heats, winning the final, and here's another driver doing exceptionally well coming out of that first round race.
Look at how much momentum he carried in coming in here now, referencing back to Duluth at Spirit Mountain. Ango has just got it going. He's got it dialed in. He has confidence. He has a great setup. This is how you use the momentum, carry it in, you use it to your advantage. He's just walking around. He's walking apart from him. He's driving away with it.
Corner, turns, FXR. Back down one more time. This time as he comes down, he should take the white flag. 1 lap left to go. Ango has led this round 2 qualifier. Oh, checkered flags are out. My apologies as they come through. And they will take and wrap up. So your winner, Jake Ango, taking the win. Alex Berglund, Travis Kern, R.J. Roy, and Mullen. Green they go. Urick in that hunt once again with the 144 of Tie Fair. I didn't see the number on that third sled racing to the top of the hill. Boy, have they got a group coming down the Air Force flyaway. Here they come across the AMSOIL finish line. Montana Jess, Jacob Urick, Max Tyfair, Patton, Travis Muller. Then it's Roy Tejan, Lind, and Johnstead in 9th place. Well, maybe you need to wreck a few things to get fired up a little bit.
I'm not so sure if that's part of the game plan for the weekend, but sometimes it's motivating to say we had such a bad run the first heat. We have to do something here in heat number 2.
Well, Urick has gotten around and is now out front, so I believe it's Urick, and then it would be Montana Jess in 2nd place as they come down the Air Force flyaway, aiming high, the U.S. Air Force. Back across, completing another lap, 3 to go.
Look at the gap he's already opened up. There's less than 1 lap that Urick has opened up in Montana Jess. It really makes you wonder, when they were that tight, that competitive, they're bar to bar the first couple laps, what happened here?
Patton on an Arctic Cat. He moves his way up a little bit. Tyfair's falling down a spot to 4th. There's your race leader, Jacob Urick. What a great kid. Picked up a good ride this year, racing, as we indicated, out of Christian Brothers Racing.
He put on a blistering lap that last one. Watching our leader here, 7:27, Jacob Urick. He ran almost a 40.7. Now he just ran a 41.2. So he is opening up a big lead on his own. It isn't that everybody behind him is falling back.
Yeah, it's about 3.
He shifted gears.
3.27 seconds over the rest of the field. Jacob sponsored by Arctic Cat, AMG Peterbilt, Doc, and Country Cat. Also the sponsor of the Country Cat Snocross Nationals here at Colorado Adventure Park.
Look at how smooth. When he lands, him coming down the downslope, on the back, coming down downslope, how flat he is, how nice he lands. That is excellent setup and excellent driving right there.
And it doesn't look like he's pushing it that hard.
No, he's not.
It's the old analogy that sometimes slower is faster.
There's absolutely no question. And smooth. If you're nice and smooth and you're not casing anything, you're not coming up short, you're not launching and landing deep, which scrubs off a lot of speed when you land so hard. This is a clinic he's putting on here right now.
Up the hill he goes through the FXR corner. Boy, that's bermed out nicely up there, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Earlier it was not. We talked about how flat it was, and if you get into somebody and you go over that berm, it's going to be tough to save even 3 positions. That'd be minimum you'd lose would be 3 positions.
Checkered flags out. Jacob Urick going to take the win here. Heat 4, round 2 of Pro Light qualifying. Montana Jess holds on for 2nd. 4 on each side there. Under starter's orders, the lights are green, and here we go up the hill. Big hole shot out front. That's Coutu. Eddie Neubauer pulls out in front of him. So Neubauer on the Arctic Cat. Then right behind him would be Coutu on the number 21 Polaris.
Those Arctic Cat C-Tech 2 engines really have found their home. Now, we talked earlier about they're doing a lot of prom work, a lot of mapping work, meaning they're trying to get the engine more efficient, the lean spots out, where they're rich, more balanced, and we can see the results right now.
Still Neubauer out front, Coutu, then another Arctic Cat. Matter of fact, a couple of them, as Benham and Blanchard fall into 3rd and 4th. Nicholas Lorenz in 5th, and Turchanik are the top 6 drivers.
Coutu is trying that inside line down to 3 and 4, and actually he lost some ground there. I think next time around, I would suspect he's going to go to the outside. It really
it's interesting, though, as you watched him go uphill, it looked like he was able to keep his sled flatter on the ground than what Eddie Neubauer was.
Definitely. Again, a lot of it's about how much drive you had of turn 4, meaning before you head up the uphill, are you carrying a lot of steam where you can afford to have less track on the ground where it's going to be easier to maintain your momentum. A lot of it's how you exit 4 up that hill.
This is where Coutu has been good right here. Look at him down underneath, just trying to ride around the inside, and that's the Musco lighting we talked about, which they've lowered about 80 feet. Now, here's where Coutu has been strong. The sled stays flat on the ground. Goes in the air just a little bit there, but boy, I tell you what, that's quite a run uphill.
He catches him each time. Look, he's right on his rear end there. That uphill is where Coutu is strongest right now. He's reeled him in the last 3 laps on the uphill. When we get back down at the bottom, we go through 3 and 4 of the turns, he seems to lose it and bobble it. He keeps
and
going
he's charging
inside.
hard here on the downhill too. Here comes Coutu. They're almost bar across the AMSOIL finish line. 2 laps left to go from our flagger. Here you see him come back around. I'm sorry, go ahead, Paul.
Coutu went outside. Remember he said he lost so much ground on the inside line? This time through 3 and 4, Coutu went to the outside, then came back in. Let's see if he can make the pass stick.
Here's the drag race going up the hill. Boy, he looks like he's right there. He's got the line. Nope. Oh, they got together. Got together. Coutu and Eddie Neubauer taking and getting together on the top side of the racetrack.
Now that's that risk you can't afford to take when you're qualifying, and this has been such a competitive class. You want to make the final. You don't want to go through an LCQ when you're at a 9,000-foot elevation. It's just too taxing on your body. That was not, that risk reward, that was not worth it.
Let's look at this again as they go up. Coutu right there. He was trying to turn, but I don't think the sled really wanted to turn in that snow the way he wanted it to, and that's where they made a collision.
Exactly what happened. The snowmobile pushed, Coutu's snowmobile pushed. It came into the rear tunnel, and it took them both over, and that's the sad part, because you don't want to go through LCQ. We just said that. It's not worth it.
Yellow flag still out up there. We see Eddie Neubauer just getting his ride refired, as now we find Daniel Benham out in the lead. Nicholas Lorenz moves up on his Polaris, and then Blanchard. Checkered flag should be out this time by. There they are. So Benham takes a win. Lorenz in second. Blanchard on an Arctic Cat in third. Well, we talked to race director Carl Shavitsky, and we'll watch the wind very carefully. We are going to race when it allows us to do so, and we are racing right now. So this is heat 2, round 2, Pro Light. Kyle Rao, Buckman, Dowd, Tyler Adams, Poirier, Lindholm, Anderson, Falaja, and Wallenstein on the racetrack. And your early race leader, Akai Falaja. And Poirier right behind him as they make their way uphill for the second time. You see the flags are not nearly as tipped over as what they were before. And that is something, like we said, we're going to need to keep an eye on here. Up to the top of the racetrack, around the FXR corner, make their way back down, and I'll tell you what, the Finn is flying.
Certainly is. Aki Palaja, he's really strong. There again, we're talking about how it looks effortless on his Jimmy John Ski-Doo. You watch him going over there, very flat. He's not really wrestling around, meaning left to right, forward to back. Very flat, very smooth, definitely in control and in command.
Works his way back up the racetrack one more time. These are 5-lap qualifiers now in Pro Light qualifying, and we do apologize for a couple of the camera shots. Some of the lights were moved or were taken down because of the fact that it just wasn't safe to leave them in the positions they were. So I see a couple of the camera shots kind of looking into some lighting and maybe some shadows in other places of the racetrack, but we are doing what we can to bring you the best possible coverage. Our guys, our TV crew, doing just yeoman's work to get everything back up and get the stream back to you. AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram here at Colorado Adventure Park, just outside of Winter Park, Colorado, for the Country Cat Snocross National, presented by Country Cat. Right now we are in Pro Light Round 2 qualifying. Following this, we will have the Sport 1 final, the FXR Sport 1 final, which is always exciting with 15 sleds in that. Then the Snow Bike final in Round 2 of Pro Open qualifying coming up, weather depending after that.
Aki Palaja had a really good run at Spirit Mountain in Duluth, and you can see once again, we talk about momentum, we talk about confidence, we talk about a good setup. When you carry it all together and you package it all together and you can take it race to race, these are the kind of results you see.
Well, and Paul, you've raced in Europe too, and the one thing about drivers from Finland and over in the Europe area, Their tracks are a lot different than what they're seeing here. You know, I think you mentioned they're bigger, they're a little bit deeper, things like that.
Much bigger. You know, initially when they started, they took actual motocross tracks, and all they didn't blow in snow into them. You know, they get enough snow, enough depth of it. They run a regular motocross track, and that's why these guys are so darn good when they get over here. They're used to really big, tough, hard, aggressive tracks.
FXR Sport Final. Up the hill we go, some bumping and banging early on. Thielen, one of those drivers. That's Riley Bester, the 151, your number one qualifier out in front from Prior Lake, Minnesota, on the Fratellone Company FXR, Artie Cat.
That's a great line Bester has. See that outside line coming down and how smooth he was? He watched that last heat, obviously.
Bester out in front. Caden Woody, another driver on an Arctic Cat. Thielen on the Polaris in third. Then it's Glashagel, Lugert, Hamilton, Stoffel, and Trent Whitwer. Those are your top 8 drivers.
You can see why Bester qualified number 1. Look at how he's running right now. It's almost for him. Everybody else, for him it's checkout time. Everybody else better stay close. If he gets out much further, it's going to be tough to reel him back in unless he makes a big mistake.
Squares around the top, down the U.S. Air Force flyaway.
Likes that outside line. See him on that outside line? Ran it last time. Very smooth.
Same line that he had, you bet, staying way on the outside of the racetrack.
Just so smooth. We'd say smooth. Look at that. I mean, he's not struggling. He's got good weight. His balance as far as his weight and his body positioning is perfect. It's textbook.
Boy, this kid is going to be good. I mean, he's racing in a number of classes right now. Has really positioned him to be a real contender in the FXR Sport class. Racing a couple of 2-3 other classes too to get some seat time. And
see how perfect his speed was up there through turn 1 and 2. He wasn't struggling, wasn't pushing it, wasn't wrestling the snowmobile whatsoever. Perfect.
Looks even like when he gets the sled off axis a little bit, is able to gather it right in, make a good decision as to what he needs to do to square it away and straighten it out. Just continues around this racetrack.
The only bobbles I've seen here coming out of Ford before we get in the uphill, and he didn't really do it there, but as you said, when he does bobble it a bit, he's able to get it back flat so he doesn't land off camber, so meaning he doesn't land on the front left ski, right front ski. You don't want to land off camber. Obviously, it scrubs a lot of your momentum.
So Bester continuing to count down laps. There should be 2 to go next time by. Thielen still in second, Glashagel. Woody now in 4, Stoffel. Hamilton in 6, Lugert, Patno at the top 8. Got 2 laps left to go.
He's making it look easy. Seriously, just effortless.
Really is. Just some great lines. Just continuing to. It's a little squirrely there, but you got a 3.81 second lead. That's not all bad.
You know, he went a little bit faster, carried a little more momentum out of forward when he was going on the uphill, and that's why he got a little bit squirrely. He's got to get back into that rhythm, nice and smooth and comfortable. Turns faster lap times. He's ran that same line the entire race on the downhill.
Well, Riley Bester, your race leader, he's been out in front since the green flag comes across. Iceman's got the white flag out. 1 lap left to go. Sitting on a 4.3 second lead. Just needs to make a good circuit here. Nothing out of the ordinary, and he'll take home some more hardware.
Last lap, he picked up another second on the field with Thielen in second. And as we said, he's doing it effortlessly. Even though he had that bobble down in turn 4, he still held a second lead on.
So Bester on the downhill one last time here. FXR Sport Final. Double flags in hand. The Iceman's got him waving. And Riley Bester takes the win. Congratulations to him. The rest of the field comes across. Mitchell Thielen, who qualified 3rd, will end up in 2nd. A nice run for him. And Grant Glashagel is your 3rd place finisher. Out of Thief River Falls, Minnesota, on the number 15. Then it's Austin Madison, Kevin Krofus, Dave Fisher, Nicholas Peterson, and Toby Hill on a Yamaha. Up the hill they go, and Man, these things have become kind of a craze again.
That's Fisher, boy. I heard him saying earlier, I got so much pull on this uphill. He said this thing is just a beast on the uphill. Well, he demonstrated that as he pulled a hole shot.
Well, and it didn't last long, though.
No, it did not.
Fisher held on in that. You know, these guys, it's interesting because some of these guys running 2-stroke, some of them running 4-stroke, and I'm not certain. Maybe you could tell me what Fisher has if you know.
He's got a 454 stroke,
and
yeah.
you know, that 4-stroke's got so much pull.
Exactly. A lot of bottom end. They make much more bottom end power, and that really helps going on that uphill. Helps tremendously.
Well, our leader having a little problem. That was Wes Selby. Fisher looks like able to get around. So now it is Dave Fisher out in front again. Fisher racing out of Eagan, Minnesota.
Yeah, Selby had, like I said, he pulled him really hard. We're watching Fisher now, a race leader. Pulled him really hard on the uphill. Something happened to Fisher when he went through turn 1 and 2. He came out of 2 and almost like he stuffed the ski or something, stopped. Selby went right by him, tore around him, and now we're not seeing Selby.
Selby had all kinds of problems. Look at Fisher look over his right shoulder and go, why are you guys all the way back there?
That's a good feeling to have.
Look at
I
these guys, how
loves that.
They really check up on this downhill. You know, they talked to Cody Thompson about what it was like riding one of these snow bikes. And he compared it to going to the park, finding one of those toys that's mounted on a big spring, where you just kind of bounce around and you don't really know where it's going to go.
And you just saw that. See, Fisher almost biffed it right there. That was so close. It's so difficult. The front, especially in this storm, remember now, it's fairly loose. I shouldn't say fairly. It's warm, it's loose. When he lands nose down with that ski and it pushes out from under him, that's when you go down. He was very close.
So Fisher out in front, then it's Austin Madison in second, Kevin Krogfist in third, Peterson, Toby Till, and apparently Selby having some issues. I'm not sure if Selby's even on the racetrack yet, but there is your race leader at that big uphill pull, and now it's like a light switch. You've got all that power pulling you up, but now you just got to fight to restrain from using it.
You really do on the downhill. You watch, see how the front end, it gets really squirrely if you're going a little bit too fast. When you come down, when you come over the roller, that's the big issue with the snow bike here in this type of snow condition. So he's nursing it down, nursing it down. He knows he's got that great pull on the uphill. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing, make it very smooth. Come down to downhill smooth. When you get back in your chance, come out of 3 and 4. Once you leave 4, pin it and just
and you watch him, he'll move his weight further back in the back part of the racetrack, try to transfer the weight to the back part of the rails and that track on his uphill pull.
Really makes a big difference. You watch him, you said this uphill pull here. It's amazing how hard he goes up the hill. And right when I say that, he doesn't hit it as hard. I think he realizes he's got big lead. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. Doesn't want to take any chances. He's got a very comfortable lead. His lead is 6.3 seconds over Madison, who's in second.
This time down the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Wind picking up just a little bit again, Paul. Well, you know, we talk about these guys on a snowmobile, about 450-pound snowmobile. That's got to be a little crazier when you're on one of these bikes.
And it's so much narrower. If you think about, you know, the narrowness changes the center of gravity drastically. Where it's so much, you know, it's like a leverage, like a pendulum on top.
Ooh, just about off.
Luckily, he had a 7-second lead. And let's see how much that just got eroded to when we see the second place comes in the picture here shortly. It was a 7-second lead. Probably cost him, I guess, 2 to 3 seconds.
I don't even think it did that. I mean, you know, he was able to gather it up, get the gear back in, and away he goes. Pulling uphill a little harder this time, though.
Big difference we're watching on the uphill, how much power he can apply, how much faster he's going on the uphill. We watch him come back downhill, as we said. They're the center of gravity, they're very tippy, and when you just have the ski in the front, one ski, when that washes out, that's the usual problem. The front end washes out, the laid out on the side, he's well aware of that, and that's why we're seeing all of them take it real nice and mellow on that downhill.
So, checked up, he doesn't have far to go, and the wind's going to be his. He sees the checkered flags, and he is going to take the win. So Dave Fisher taking the win here in the snow bike class. Second place is going to go to Austin Madison. He qualified second, and that's where he will finish. The third place, everybody kind of bunching up a little bit. Third place is going to be the number 77, of Kevin Krogfest.
Hi guys, I'm here with third place finisher Kevin. This weather is absolutely insane. How did you get through all of this?
Oh, this bike was awesome, but the lighting crew and everything was really good, so I can't complain. Really, it's what we deal with in the mountains.
Yeah. Okay, who would you like to thank tonight?
Toby Till, he hooked me up with the RMS snow bike, the Yamaha, and then Cam Snow hooked me up with this kit, so I was fully set up with his bike. So, thank you.
Well, good. Congratulations. And second place finisher, I have Peyton Madison. Austin Madison, I'm so sorry. Okay. This weather, like I just said, was really insane. What did you do to prepare for this race today?
No preparation really. I got the bike together last Saturday. I got one day of practice on it and made it out here. It's awesome to be on the podium right now.
Congratulations. Who would you like to thank tonight?
Number one, I gotta thank God upstairs for keeping us safe out here. Pretty gnarly weather and we made it through it. Second's gotta go out to the Buckman family, Dean, Jocelyn, Ian, Alex. I gotta thank Megan. My brother Elliot, he helped me out along the way here. And Rob's Performance out of Johnson's Creek.
Congratulations. And in first place, we have David Fisher. David, how did you prepare for this race and how did you maintain this first place throughout the whole track?
You know, it was definitely hard, especially with this, look at the wind out here and the snow flying, but, me and Wes started battling it out and then something happened and, now we're here, so can't complain.
Who would you like to thank tonight for your first place finish?
I'd like to thank Timber Sled, Sled Ed 24/7, all the K2 team, 509, Mobius, Atlas, GoPro, Motorsports Plus, FXR Racing, RSI, everybody. Sure I'm forgetting some people, but thank you.
Congratulations. That was your snow bike final. I'm going to send it up back to you guys in the booth.
And it's Kyle Pauline right alongside of him. Pauline now out in front on the 324 Mystic Lubricant Polaris. Down the hill they come, the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Then they get to the AMSOIL finish line. It's Pauline, Trevor Layton, Justin Broberg, Hibbert again in fourth, Logan Christian, Springer. Then it's Renheim, Crapo, and Lemieux. Now a couple of stories here. Again, Tucker Hibbert's going to race hard, have to race hard in tough conditions. The other story, Lincoln Lemieux, your points later, sitting way at the back of the field.
Trevor Layton, we saw how strong he ran in round one. He's right up there right now. Trevor Layton, I really believe, has got what it takes to come back out. I think get by Clean. I really do. From the standpoint of watching, now that I say that, look how smooth Clean is. He wasn't that smooth on the downhill last time. Now he's ultra smooth. So this is going to change as we go, obviously.
Pauline out in front now with a 1.6-second lead over Tucker Hibbert, who got by both Trevor Layton and Justin Broberg. So Tucker driven again to get to the front of this heat.
And 5 extra bonus points. That's huge. Remember now, he won his first heat. He wins this second heat. Now he's going to have 10 extra bonus points. He needs that in this points chase.
There you see him race to the top of the FXR hill. Pauline on the inside. Boy, Tucker charging hard, just really leaning into that Arctic Cat, squaring it away, coming down the middle of the hill. He's making up ground all the way down here. Let's see who's got the lead when they come across the finish line. It is going to be Kyle Pauline, but only by about 0.4 of a second.
Tucker made up about 3 or 4 setlights on the downhill. He was so smooth, ran that center line downhill, made a big ground.
Boy, the bottom part of the racetrack has developed nicely into 2 lines, too. Pauline went outside, was a little bit faster. There's more of a berm on the inside, but Tucker not able to make it work for him.
Tucker gave up probably 2-3 setlights down in between 3 and 4, but he made it back up on the uphill again. You remember in the first round, he kept pulling everybody on the uphill, and he made so much ground up on him. I think he knows what he's got next.
Pauline on the outside. There you see Hibbert on the number 68 Arctic Cat charging hard for the lead here in Heat 1 of Round 2 qualifying. Don't forget, the winner gets 5 bonus points for that championship. Tucker doing what he's so good at, staying inside, jumping the berm, taking away Kyle Pauline's line.
Pauline had the speed. Pauline knew he could see him coming back across, as you said. When he cut across, he had no choice. He couldn't take them both out. Tucker executed that perfectly.
You know, that was the same thing in round 1 in Duluth. He would take the inside, jump the berm to the outside. There'd be people charging on the outside. They just had to check or try to find a different line. He took their line away.
You would think with as often as Tucker does that move, which is quite often, not only in heat racing in the finals, everybody be watching. You don't see many other people do it. And if they do it, they don't execute it as flawlessly as Tucker does.
You see Iceman, 2 flags in the air indicating 2 laps left to go. Boy, look at everybody down there watching this race just to see which direction they're going and what lines are working for them. We've got another heat of Pro Open qualifying coming up right after this one. Hibbert to the top side, FXR corner, takes and sweeps around. You know, he's tried different lines. He was in the middle last time. Let's see where he goes this time, Paul.
He's been going back and forth. He was in the middle line twice. I saw him go outside once and inside once.
Ryan Springer having a problem. It's a white flag out for your leader. There he comes across. He'll take it down into the corner. Springer having that issue. He was running 5th place. That'll knock him back a couple of more positions.
Tucker put another second on second place. Kyle Green that last lap. Tucker's opening up.
Okay, he had the fastest lap so far. Ran a 39.435. That's faster than anything we've seen out of round 1 qualifying in Pro Open.
That's the fastest so far today out of anybody. And these conditions are not perfect. They're far from perfect.
Well, checkered flag's getting ready here. As Tucker Hibbert wins again, and again you see some real emotion coming from him. That is 2 wins. That's 10 points that he's made up in his battle to win his 11th AMSOIL Pro Open Championship. So green they go, up the hill. Who's got the hole shot? Corn Todd. Man, I'll tell you what, Trace Layton has fired these guys up. Robbie Malinowski's got these sleds running like you wouldn't believe.
He really does. We saw that same thing in the last heat, which was first round. Corn Todd did the exact same thing. He's got that thing so, the setup is so perfect as far as clutching. You watch that hole shot, the weight transfer of the snowmobile, it isn't just the clutching, it's the transfer that he gets.
And it's the confidence that he has when he can get a hole shot like that. But I'll tell you what, we're not taking anything away from the rest of these other Polaris drivers. Look at, he's got both of the Hensch's sleds right behind him. Peter Narson, the number 54, Cody Cameron, the number 53, and they're only about a half second behind. Corn Todd's got his hands full this heat.
He's going to. Narsa's going to really come up there quick. And on the uphill before, we saw Todd really strong in the earlier heat, but we hadn't saw him against Cam. This could be a little different now. Remember, Polaris shares a lot of information. These teams really do as far as clutching, the setups. So it's no secret what the other guys have. If something works really well, they usually share the information. So we're going to see now it could be a real driver's battle.
Boy, look at this, though. It's 589, a little almost 0.6 of a second. He's put a whole second between he and the 2 Hensch's sleds that last lap. These 2 guys, they're starting to do battle, and he's going, that's fine. Just race each other. Have at it, boys. Don't worry about me. You see who can take second and third. Narsa's sitting in second, Cody Cam in third.
Nothing could work better for your race leader, Corn Todd, than what you just said. We're watching right now 53 and 54, teammates for Hensch's, battling it out, getting in front of each other, roosting each other. That's the best thing that could happen for your race leader, Corn Todd.
We go through the rest of the orders. We watch the 2 Hensch's sleds, and there's Corn Todd right there going across the finish line again to complete another lap. 4 to go. It's still going to be Narsa in second, Cam. Then it's Nastala in 4th, Tremblay in 5th, Ischel, Martin, and Carlson.
Corn Todd now has a 1.29 second lead, so he gave up about a second.
He gave up about 0.4 of a second that last lap, but these 2 guys, they're still beating up on each other.
I'm not so sure it's enjoyable right now for Layton watching. He's saying if Layton, the team owner watching anything, you Hensch's boys go at it here, but I'm not so sure now. I really believe that Corn Todd, after what we saw at Duluth, after what we saw in the first round here in the first heat, I believe Corn Todd really has everything running perfectly. And he's demonstrating it right now.
And Tremblay was able to move up, I believe, a spot or 2. He does move up the 4th. You know, I talked to Corn Todd, and you were with us. We talked to him in the parking lot, and the real problem that he had in the final, because that's what everybody was questioning when we were at Duluth, is that he had 2 big wins in the heats. Were they going to make any changes on the fly to try to be more competitive in the final? He said no, and of course he actually said he fell off. That was what the problem was, or he would have had a much better finish. He could have easily come in here as our point leader.
Definitely, and he may exit out here. If he keeps running like this, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Counting down the laps, Corn Todd out of Oswego, New York. Racing for Polaris, Fly, Skins, Walker Evans Shocks, 999 Optics. Boy, they're gonna work out tonight. Those goggles. Look at that, same thing. Look at this thing, is on the ground all of the time.
That
just
helps.
dig, just dig.
So much for confidence
Now,
when you think about how he's been running. Since he
Cam's
was running.
gotten around Peter Narsa. Let's see if Cam's got the fortitude to try to find a couple of lines and make up some ground, and it looked like he did.
Look how far outside Cam is. We're watching right now at the back of your screen. Cam was way outside.
1 lap left to go, but yet Corin Todd put another 0.2 of a second between he and Cody Cam. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Just run smooth, run consistent. Run smooth, run consistent.
That's exactly what he's doing now. Anybody can get out there, not anybody. Any of these riders are capable of going out, hitting it, holding it. You start casing it, you're swapping, you're scrubbing speed. Smooth is fast.
But a quarter of a lap left to go. Down the U.S. Air Force flyaway. He'll make the transition. There's a big kicker down here. Cody pushing hard. There's that big flyaway. The finish line awaits him, and Corin Todd, so far this year, is 4 for 4 in his Pro Open qualifying heats. In a provisional, green we go. We watch him as they head up the racetrack. Oh, somebody off early on. That's Ogemar Heldmeyer out in front. Wallenstein behind him, and then the 114 of Alex Berglund, another Swedish driver racing here this weekend.
You know, here you really have to manage your position. Remember, the top 5 transfer, the rest are done for the night. So if you're back there, and it gets difficult as the snow dust picks up. It's not that bad right now. Now it's all about position management. Just make the top 5. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't want to crash. You don't want to take yourself out. Top 5 moves on, rest are done.
Here's the story that we should take and let everyone know. We indicated that a driver went off the racetrack at the beginning of the race on the uphill. That, we believe, was Montana Jess. So, Montana Jess, your defending champion in Pro Light, not having a good start to the 2016-2017 Pro Light Championship race.
He certainly is, unless barring some incredible circumstances right now. Montana Jess is back down in 13th. Remember, the top 5 transfer, the rest are done. It's not looking good for last year's champion.
Down into the corner, still Ogemar Helgeson out in front, or Helgemeyer, I'm sorry. Wallenstein in second, Berglund, Nick Patton, and Travis Muller is on the bubble. He sits in 5th place. Mason in 7th, Corbin Anderson in 7th, and then Cole Coutu in 8th. And Coutu, if you remember, got together with Eddie Neubauer in his qualifying heat, so he had to get in on a provisional to try to make his way into the final. Let's go down to the track for an update on Montana Jess with Kate Osborne. Kate?
Well, in talking to Montana Jess before Duluth, he was not all there mentally ready, prepared. His team said they worked really long hours to get him ready to get out on track. Now, coming into today, I was in their hauler and they were so pumped. You could tell that Montana Jess was feeling more comfortable, like the old self of defending his championship from last year. But today was crashing out in round 1, and now right there after that start, it is a sad day for the Montana Jess team.
Well, we are, of course, 3 rounds into the year out of 17. They have a long way to go, but boy, I'll tell you what, you can't let it get away from you, Mac, man. You got to gather it up right away.
No, not even though it's early in the season, to go that far back and home, dig yourself back out, difficult.
Checkered flag out. So here are the 5 drivers that'll move on to the final in the back row. Marcus Ogemar Helgemeyer. Then you have Kevin Wallenstein, Alex Berglund, Nick Patton, and Travis Muller on his Artie Cat. Those 5 drivers move on. Then it's Mason, Coutu, Anderson, Johnston, Blanchard, Neubauer, Jess, and Adams. Those drivers done for the day. They will have to try to make it into the final for tomorrow. There's plenty of room if anybody wants to go up there and watch the races. Just about ready to go. 6 laps as we indicated coming up. Pro-Am Women Final, green we go. That is the 170. Omen that works hard to make her way to the top of the hill. Jackie Farmer goes along, and along with the 5:47 of Amanda Dutzman.
What a great hole shot there, Pro. I mean, you look, and we were just talking about the weather, how it's changing by the minute. Again, the snow is coming in, it's difficult visibility.
Down they come. That U.S. Air Force flyaway, and the ladies just a bit hesitant. I mean, which is to be expected. We've seen pro open drivers come down and check up like that. So it's Oman out in front. She works around. She's got about almost a 3-second lead on the field after that first lap. This young lady from Sweden, she was so strong. Her and Marika battled back and forth last year, and she was not able to catch her point-wise, but boy, they had some great battles on the racetrack.
Oman is so much faster, on the downside. We watch her come down the downhill. That's where she made up the majority of that 3 seconds. They were pretty tight up in between turn 1 and 2. The gap was maybe 2 set lengths. Watch her come down the hill. We're down this downstretch, much faster than everybody else.
There you see the second slide. That's Jackie Farmer out of Medford, Wisconsin. She qualified 6th, sitting in 2nd right now. And there's quite a group of ladies that are bunched up a little bit further back in the racetrack. Here's your leader, Oman.
Once again, very smooth. You saw her coming down into turn 3, came into a double, coming back out of 4. The uphill, there again, they're not making as much time as far as for Oman. Her big time that she makes is on that downhill. Each and every time she increases that lead. Last time, a little over a second. It was mainly on the downhill there.
FXR corner, sweeps. She comes down this way, we'll be halfway through.
Ooh, she cased that one.
She did. That one.
That's a wake-up call.
It chattled the teeth a little bit.
Cased another one.
You know, the visibility getting a little more difficult.
Well, you just
really can't read the track.
Exactly what it is. It's very difficult to read. We're watching the screen. It doesn't look that bad here. We're looking outside the glass here. It's bad. I mean, it's just hard to judge it and gauge it.
And I mean, even some of the camera shots, though, are showing, you know, how difficult it is for these ladies, these professional snowcross racers, to see the track.
You just saw how much she slowed down going down there between 3 and 4. She didn't want to case anything again. She slowed it down a bit. She realizes she has a big lead. It's almost 4 seconds now over second place, Rodair. So she's got a big, comfortable lead.
Megan, of course, moved past Milena Anderson. And then Anderson's got a lead on Jackie Farmer of about another 4 or 5 seconds. So leaders shuffled up a little bit up on the top side of the racetrack, but still those 3 out in front, Oman, Brodeur, and Anderson.
She changed that line to see that she came all the way down the outside. That's the first time she's done that the whole race.
Right, I think she thought the inside was going to be a little smoother because everybody's been kind of staying to the outside. 2 laps left to go. You know, and they've groomed the track during these weather breaks here when the wind's been out. They've moved a lot of snow around in all portions of the racetrack to try to give them a couple of different lines to work their way down and up.
I think a big part of the problem too is, Mike, it's been so warm. You know, it's still 35 degrees here an hour and a half again, so that snow dissipates and just moves so much. The snowmobiles are moving the snow all over the track. The groomers try to put it back into place. You know, the holes form so quickly and so rapidly. This is the best we saw the track hold up here now this last hour since it got cooler the entire day by far.
And I believe the white flag out it is. 1 lap left to go. Flag to flag, Alina Oman.
Just increased the lead again right now. She's got a 6.2 second lead over second place, which is Megan Brodeur. Anderson still back in third. 3 seconds behind second place, which is Brodeur. We're watching our race leader. Boy, does she make it look easy or what?
Up the hill she goes. She'll make that hard 180-degree right-hand turn and come down for a checkered flag.
What a great day for Lena Oman. Great rounds in qualifying. Came out here, qualified in your number 1 position. Coming back down here one last time to downhill. Going to take that checkered. Going to take this women's Pro-Am final.
Checkers are out. Nice win for Alina Oman out of Sweden.
Guys, I'm here with 3rd place finisher Maylene. We have to keep it short and sweet, so will you just like to thank your sponsors? Yeah, if I remember. No, it's FXR, Spy, EVS, and Travelon Racing, of course, my team. And Articat, of course, Articat. And yeah, Speedworks, Cat, Rocks. Yeah, it's a lot. Congratulations. And second place, we have Megan Broder. Megan, again, keep it short and sweet. Who would you like to thank tonight?
I want to thank my team, Anderson Racing. The owner of the team, Mike Anderson, Walls Limited, my dad, my mom, and my sisters. Fly Racing, Scott Goggles, NKLS, Stud Board Traction, CNA Pro Skis. Everyone else I forgot. Big thanks to everyone.
Congratulations. And in first place, we have Alana Oman. Again, who would you like to thank tonight for your first place finish?
My team, Davis Racing, Polaris, my mechanic, Rob, Walker Evans, Woody, CNA Pro Skis, my boyfriend Peter, my family, and everyone who helped me. Thanks.
Congratulations. That was your Pro-Am women class. I'm going to send it back up to you guys in the booth.
AMSOIL Pro Open LCQ. Listen to the names in here. Christian, Crapo, Ischel, Nastala, Carlson, Martin, Springer, and Adam Renheim.
Hard to believe. You'd assume that they'd all make it through qualifying and in the final, but not today, not in these conditions. And there's just been some freak incidents too.
Springer out in front. 5 of these drivers move on. Boy, I tell you what, headlights not required in the Pro Open class, so a little bit harder for us to see them coming down the hill. The way they line up, Logan Christian out in front. I'm sorry, Ryan Springer. Logan Christian second. Carlson, Nastala, and Ischel in 5th. Here's the asterisk. Ross Martin sitting right now in 7th place.
Got to make up 2 positions. As we said, his last chance qualifier. They only take the top 5. He's got to kick it into high gear here. Martin's got 2 positions to make up to make it into the big show.
Logie right behind Ryan Springer. Oh, that is some tough vision right there. Trying to get the program done, though, safely so that we have a clean slate for tomorrow. There you see your leader go by. Now with about almost a second lead on Logan Christian. And, you know, Logie's just got to run a good run right here. I mean, there are times when you race hard in LCQs, but I think this is one of the times when you know you're in second spot. You race a little conservative.
This is the time that you don't want to do that. We think back and look back at all the other LCQs. We're at right now, as I said earlier, 8,560 feet above sea level. They're already tired. This is going to just exacerbate, making them even more tired getting ready for a final that's probably going to come up here in a half an hour. You don't want to push it. Make the top 5, move on, and don't wind yourself.
Laps counting down. It's Springer, Christian, Ischel in 3rd, Carlson, Crapo. Ross Martin has moved his way up to 6th place. And now back down to 7th. So he and Nastala having a battle. And things just not going Ross Martin's way this weekend.
No, we're looking at 999 right now. Colby Crapo, that's the bubble. The top 5 move on. So right now, Crapo's on the bubble. Nastala, 248, is going to have to extend Crapo and get by him in order to make the final.
Logie on the outside. Trying to be patient, staying right behind Ryan Springer. The opportunity presents itself. I'm sure he'll take a run at him, but he's happy you can see his tail light. They work their way around. That's the 999. Kobe Crapo, like you said, he is on the bubble.
Got a pretty significant lead as we just saw in that shot. Right now in this shot, watch. Behind him, right now, behind Crapo is Nastala. He's quite a ways back. We've only got another lap to go. Idling time is running out. Laps are taking off. It's going to be tough.
Final lap there on up to the top. FXR corner. Sweeping that corner around, coming down. The double checkers are out. And they are going to end up Springer taking the win. Logan Christian in 2nd. Elias Hitchell only about 16 100ths of a second behind Logan. So Hitchell will be the number 13 qualifier.